Step inside, let me show you the scene. A syndicate masked in a media sheen. They call it PR, but it's more like a crime. A fortress of lies where the guilty still climb. At the helm, a troll with a history stained. Moves like a ghost, leaves ruin in chains. Squats in the dark, claims what ain't hers. Living off scams, deception occurs. Her man ain't better, he profits from pain. Stripping the helpless, drowning in rain. Hurricane wreckage, pockets get fat. Takes from the weak, never looks back. It's the ecosystem of hate, built to destroy. Spin your truth, turn your past into ploys. A web of deceit, no justice, no grace. They'll rewrite your life, then laugh in your face. Here comes the journo, slithering slick. Sells his own stories, plays every trick. Lays with the victims, then twist what they say. A puppet of scandal, a predator's play. Caught in the act, but still he persists. Feeding the cycle with venomous twists. Truth ain't the goal, you about to get played. He'll spin some more lies for only 10K. It's the ecosystem of hate, built to destroy. Wreck your name, no one will employ. A racket of shadows, a league of sin. They bury your rep before you begin. Watch for the ex-con, fresh out the cage. Extortion and fraud still fuel his rage. Sentences served, but lessons ignored. Grammar's a crime, his words like a sword. A thug with a script, a deal in his fist. Misspells the threats, but you get the gist. Ain't no secret this guy eats paint chips. For the right price, he'll make up all kinds of shit. And then there's the lawyer, sharp like a hammer. No moral code, belongs in the slammer. Bar complaint stack, but he stays in the game. Turning the law into weapons of shame. Threatens the weak, buries the proof. Twist every case till fiction's the truth. A master of fear, a shadow in court. Your cries for justice, he'll cut them short. Together they thrive in the filth they create. A kingdom of ruin, a cycle of fate. The puppet, the thief, the fixer, the fraud. A system of demons who play like gods. They don't just lie, they architect doom. Step in their way, you won't leave the room. They'll twist your past, create what you've done. By the time they're through, you'll be no one. Ecosystem of hate, a media storm. They'll break you down in everly form. A syndicate built on power and crime. Their names stay clean, yours fades with time. So watch your step, don't play their game. One slip up and they'll ruin your name. From squire to felon, from lie to snake. They're lost in an ecosystem of hate. So watch your step, don't play their game. One slip up and they'll ruin your name. From squire to felon, from lie to snake. They're lost in an ecosystem of hate.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the show. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. How you doing, Tug?
I'm doing good. Crazy news today, but I'm doing good on top of that.
Yeah, it's a little nuts out there today, little nuts. Sorry for the delay. Sometimes I get phone calls I have to take right before the show. So that sometimes happens. But you guys will forgive me, right? Right.
Yeah, sometimes the news does not, it seems to have the weirdest timing sometimes, to be honest. It's like, I'm going live in a minute and a half, and then the phone rings.
Yep. So it can't be helped, and it's not purposeful. So I appreciate your patience. I always make every effort to get the stream started on time, and I don't like being late. And
On time, yeah. That means
on time,
on the
which
time
means
that you know we're coming. Yeah.
15 minutes late.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
unusual. It's unusual for me to go 20 minutes, but it could not be helped today. Okay, so there is breaking news. And now again, I'm going to say this with the codicil that I can't verify it at this point because there is no written verification yet. But I don't believe that Jeannie Stark has any reason to post something like this on social media if it wasn't true. But Jeannie Stark has posted that Scott Stark passed away from congestive heart failure yesterday. She put that on Threads. I can actually, I didn't put it in the, I do have the posting, so let me grab it. I just forgot to get it set up. But that's unfortunate. And of course, prayers to Jeannie Stark. And I hope that she gets through it okay, if that's the case. I'm assuming in a couple of days there will be an obituary, and then it can be verified that, this happened. I don't have any reason to believe that she's not. Why would you post that about your husband? That would make no sense.
Well, it would definitely be one, someone could disprove. So,
right.
Right. It would serve no purpose. That would just be an outlandish claim.
Exactly.
She did post something about, people might say she's lying and I have all the proof. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, actually, I don't think anybody's claiming you're lying. Actually, Marla claimed it was a lie. I did see
Marla doesn't believe it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's really weird. Marla won't go and check, because Marla actually wanted to link. That's what
Marla
was
wanted
like.
Proof of this. It was like,
Yes.
well, what more proof do you need than his
Actually, I was like, you fucking ghoul. That's when I was like, you fucking ghoul. You want me to link you to her social media so you can ask her yourself? No, thank you. Here's your screenshot,
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, that there's no purpose to like going to her social media or anything. That would be terrible. Okay, so here is the post. And let me pull this up.
Damn it.
What happened?
I'm trying to. So I got that. By the way, Lady Tammy, if you're out there, appreciate you. I got the turtle game. It came in the mail, and
cool.
I am. How they have the little balls. I'm painting them as, I'm painting them gold and silver. So they're like money that they can fight over. But one of them I am commemorating today. I am painting red because they like to fight over their money, despite the fact that some of it has blood on it.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's wow, great symbolism. But yeah, that's what I was doing right now. I dropped the freaking red ball while I was doing it.
The other reason why we don't want to point people to this posting is that she put her phone number on it. So
yes,
that's not something we want to point out or give out her phone number, obviously. In fact, I'm going to have to, let me screenshot this because this is not cutting off where I want it to. There we go. Now I can bring it up. All right. Image. So Jean or Jeannie, I'm not sure if she pronounces it Jean or Jeannie. But this is what she put up on Threads. So Scott Stark died August 3rd of congestive heart failure. He was my light, my day and night, and a good lawyer. Services when I get out of Morton Plant because I collapsed when I woke up. I can be reached. And then she had put her phone number there. This is terrible news. This is not what, nobody wanted Scott Stark to die. But, I have a real problem with this entire thing. I have a real problem that the ecosystem, that Bruce Matskin recruited this man, knowing full well that he was very sick. We've been talking about this for a long time. Scott Stark put in memos to the court, motions to the court, talking all about his medical history, congestive heart failure. He was in rehab all the time. He was doing, he was in and out of rehab, which is why he had to go to the gym all the time. He was hospitalized a couple of times. And then on both hearings in the thumbnail case, he had to be taken to the hospital. And I believe because he said stress is what induces it. Stress. So Bruce Matskin, knowing that this guy was prone to stress-related heart conditions, recruited him into a scheme that could not win, a no-win case with no legal basis in fact or law, and then left him holding the bag.
Yep.
That's the thing. You know the term left you holding the bag? It's like when it comes from like a robbery where you throw the bag into somebody else's hand and take off, and then the cops show up and here's the guy holding the bag, of money or whatever. That's exactly what it looks like Bruce did to Scott Stark.
The craziest thing that we're seeing right now today is they did that. They abandoned the man. You see them only bring him up when there's some kind of use, but very, very sparingly and never to help. But today, now it's poor family. It's all, of course, they want to blame Jeremy.
Oh, they're already blaming Jeremy.
Yes, and they're going to grift off it. You watch. You fucking watch it. They're going to grift it.
Oh, yeah. The next fundraiser is going to be for this, allegedly for the Stark family. For Stark's widow,
I would not.
God, I'm warning Jeannie, please don't listen to these people. Don't just do your own fundraiser.
These are the people that, again, I'm conflicted. I would not wish this on anyone's family when I say that, but no one would mourn if they stuck their hand in my pocket. So, or my family's pocket. If they, if I would have been pulled in here and I lost. So, they didn't want to pull me into it at first. So I am very conflicted on that. I'm empathetic for family, but at the same time, I think, I think they were all in it. They all thought they were going to get a big payday. I'm going to limit some of the things I say today because I'm not glowing with nicety. Like I said, I don't wish the ill intent on anyone, but they certainly, I didn't see them pausing for my health considerations or anything for any of these people, or they don't pause for Jeremy or anything else. They wouldn't. If Jeremy had, any of his mental health issues that this has caused or relationship issues, they didn't care. They
didn't care about that. But I will say this. There is a possibility, and we've talked about this before, and you and I kind of disagree on this, because I have always felt like he recruited Stark with he must have given him a bunch of false information.
Yeah, but isn't it his job to verify it? I realize they're in a desperate situation. They need money, right? But it goes to that old saying of, if something comes up and it's too good to be true, well,
right. It probably, but also consider if his only mistake was to not verify, that's less bad than knowing he was going into a no-win loser case. You know what I mean?
I'd just be like this. Like I said, where did the bag they thought was going to come from? Where would it have come from?
Well, and they wanted to add. Yeah, they wanted to add you to it too.
Yeah.
They wanted.
They would have taken it from my friends and stuff too.
I agree. It was a bullshit lawsuit. And he should have done his due diligence. But also, you are talking about a guy who is clearly at the end of his life. So again, this is like elder abuse, which is
for sure. I think when we roll it downhill. Oh, go ahead.
It's a common theme in this whole case is elder abuse, right? We've got the flea husband who got caught elder abusing hurricane victims. Then we've got the fleas abusing Lynette, who's also an elder, right? Abusing her, not giving her the money that they raised. That's elder abuse. Then we've got, Stark, who was an elderly man, sick. No, and they knew he was sick. So, and
desperate. I would say
sick and desperate.
Yeah, because if the statements about their living situations are true, which I actually think they probably were. They're living an apartment life. They're having trouble finding vehicles and everything else. And somebody found the perfect patsy. And fortunately, they are the perfect patsy because there are a lot of people, again, what I'm saying about Snark is I'm not letting him off the hook for what I think is liability, but there are a lot of people that are getting off the hook for liability in this. And I do think, I very much agree that the ecosystem drove this man into his grave early. You know, the stress on this stuff, my God, you know, when he saw all this implode around him, they promised him that there would be no liability. We know that there were promises made that there would be no liability, no blowback, because you saw how confident they were. You know, they were so assured. No safe harbor, all this stuff. You know, there was no way there would be sanctions hearings, and then there were. So they lied all the way to what they
And
thought would be the main.
speaking of those sanctions, the sanctions hearing that is still coming up, it will not be canceled because Scott Stark died. It will continue, and it can be continued against his estate.
Yes.
This is an interesting point of this situation now, though, because Jeremy did make a short today saying with a message for Jeannie Stark that said, listen, if you help me, and, you know, you give me the communications and how all this happened between how did Bruce talk him into this and all of that, I won't sue your estate. You know, that's a big deal.
That's fair. That's very
I think it's fair too. I think it's fair because listen, anybody saying like, okay, Jeremy should just drop it because, you know, he died and now his widow, blah, blah, blah. That is not justice. Jeremy got served with and so did Larry, with bullshit lawsuits. He got served with bullshit lawsuits. Both of them did, which cost them time, money, and damages. And somebody needs to pay for that. Somebody needs to pay for that. And it's the person who really should pay for it is the person who recruited this guy into it.
Yes.
That's the person who should pay for it. And also Lynette Preston for bringing it against him. So she's definitely still on the hook. But yeah, no, it should not be dropped unless, you know, Jeremy gets good information that he can use to go after the real culprit, the culprit who deserves to take the fall for it, the guy who left a sick elderly man holding the bag.
Yeah,
and is possibly now in another country.
Yeah, I saw those posts. Those were really interesting, weren't they? Oh my goodness. Yes, perhaps somebody who has done that before might not be around. Maybe they were the whole time. I don't know. You know. Yeah. But yeah, isn't it weird? Isn't it weird how the people get recruited into this stuff? They're the ones that potentially they suffer some real liability. Maybe these other people in the ecosystem should think about that, like should pause and reflect, because again, look at all the people who have been put in some really compromising positions. And again, that's not to take away any of their liability, but who put them there really? Because they like to point the finger at Hales, but Hales is reacting to what they're doing. Who told them that they could do that and could do it with impunity?
Well,
I think we all know that.
All right, the chat's pointing out, I may have repeated what Jeremy said incorrectly. He said he would help her go after Bruce if she wanted to go after Bruce. You're right. You're correct.
I have not seen the short yet, so I should.
They're correct. That's what he said. I was getting lips confused with Stark's wife. He said he would help her if she wanted to go after Bruce for what he did to Scott Stark. He would help her. You know, look. Somebody needs to pay for this. It's not okay to bring vexatious litigation against people and then be like, oh, well, they have nothing, so you really can't do anything about it. That's not okay. And I do believe that the Starks should have looked into the consequences of this before filing it. You should always know what could happen. You should always know what could happen if you get involved in litigation. And sanctions is always a possibility if the lawyer knew or should have known that the litigation had no basis in fact or law.
He's a lawyer, man. I mean, you know, again, we're not talking about like talking Joe Bob or, you know, whoever into this. We're talking about lawyers. So at the end of the day, I mean, them not doing their due diligence. Like I said, it's a shitty situation. It is. And I know that the nice and polite thing will expect like someone like myself to say. I'm not saying that. But again, you got to remember, like, I've had medical problems. I didn't see one of these people not willing to not dance on my grave for money.
Right.
They would
No,
all
it's
take
true.
that. They would reach their hand into my pocket. They would definitely take from my family. You know, they target kids and everything else. Fuck these people. But again, I don't mean that to like, and Stark, you know, and Scott Stark, Miss Stark was part of it too. But again, I'm not wishing doom or demise on anyone. I wanted them to.
Uh-oh. We're losing
Just
Tug.
on anybody.
You roboted out.
No.
We missed you for a second there.
Okay.
Sorry, I lost you at we wanted to.
No, we wanted financial life. We wanted them to be financially culpable. You know, nobody would wish demise or doom on any of these people. You know.
No, absolutely. It was accountability that is wanted. Accountability, and I do feel sorry. I feel very sorry for Jeannie Stark. I've told you guys when we played those videos on Rumble, you know, and her sunglasses, talking about that women's conference. I fell in love with her a little. She's funny, and I enjoyed her very much. And I think that there's a part of I'm sure that there's good things about Jeannie Stark, and maybe she did get. I would love to know what happened. That's what I would like to know. I would like to know, how did they get into this case?
Yeah.
What did he promise them? And it would be a great. I would love to hear it from Jeannie, because I feel like they had to have been. There must be something else we don't know. How did he approach them? What did he say they were going to get out of it? What did he tell them about Jeremy that maybe they believed that wasn't true? Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, being gullible.
They said easy
Tug,
payday. I think we really got that one for sure.
but being gullible is not a crime. Being gullible is as an elderly sick person, it's like being a victim of catfishing. It's like that catfish show. Sometimes you watch that show and you go, oh my God, you deserve it. You're too stupid. But at the same time, these are still elderly and sick people who are lonely. And they, even though they're not being smart, they don't deserve to have their entire life savings taken away from them. They don't. And I kind of feel that way about Stark. I feel like they were in a position like a lot of those elderly people are who get catfished. Did Bruce do this catfishing? And is Bruce responsible for the extra stress and pressure on Scott Stark that led to his congestive heart failure? Because if you notice, remember the last time he didn't show up for the hearing, and we were joking that he was on vacation just a couple weeks before. He went to all these different places on vacation. Well, it occurred to me, yeah, you know, he can go on vacation because he's not under stress and he's having a nice time with his wife. But the second that he is called into court to answer for something Bruce did, perhaps the stress is too much for him and would send him into a panic, which was not good for his health.
It reminds me, like we learn lessons from media, right? And one of the shows that I really like watching is Breaking Bad. Okay. And the situation, again, the people are different in here, but you look at people, they're in a bind, you know, they're desperate for money. They hope to leave family with something to. So, yeah, I mean, I can see, like I said, I can see many aspects to this. It doesn't forgive the person out of it. But yes, it's disgusting to me in two parts. It's disgusting to me because, again, the person that should be culpable is sitting behind the scenes, puppet mastering people. I mean, he very much. He put together the Anti-WTH Media Ecosystem. He needed a face in Florida. Like what we heard from Stark when he spoke, we could tell Bruce absolutely was pulling the strings. We saw the messages from Shara.
Stark didn't even know how many thumbnails there were. Stark didn't know. He couldn't answer those basic questions about the lawsuit he allegedly filed, which tells you it wasn't his lawsuit. He didn't do those filings.
But Stark is a lawyer too. Like I said, I'm on two sides. Like again, if somebody ain't going to trade up though, if they're going to give again, Jeremy and everyone else, nobody would mourn it. You know, it coming out of your. In fact, these disgusting people, they left Stark on the only person on the hook they wanted to leave there. You know, him and Lynette, interestingly enough, which they've abandoned both of them. Lynette, you see how that works out. Now, of course, after the demise, suddenly he's griftable again. So suddenly Scott Stark is a name that means something to them.
Yeah, suddenly they care. By the way, good evening to everybody on Locals and on Rumble. My Locals crew, I did drop an announcement in there. Hope you guys got it. And also on Rumble, thanks for being here. And all of you, 3,000 of you who are here between on YouTube, and then more of you on Rumble, don't forget to hit that like button or thumbs up on the way in. And if you are not subscribed, please check to make sure you're subscribed, because my sister-in-law just told me today, she's like, do you not go live anymore? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm live every night. She goes, I never get notifications anymore. I used to get them all the time. I'm like, well, you have to check because they'll unsubscribe you. So please make sure, if you think you're subscribed, just double check, make sure you're subscribed. And if not, subscribe again and hit that bell. And if you want to support the show and you like what we do here and you want to help us get to the bottom of these issues, super tips are always appreciated. Super chats are always appreciated. Super tips is really a lot of fun with AI voices. Supertip.gg/Megan Fox. You can send them there, or you can send super breadsticks on YouTube. Those are always appreciated as well. And I have a special treat for you guys. So tonight, I have a brand new music video for you. Brand new.
Woo-hoo.
And I told you what it was called. It's called Codunk Row. You're going to get to have a little sneaky peeky into what me and Tug, what it will be like when we lose our houses to lips and we're living in a cardboard box.
Straight to the cardboard, baby.
But that is going to rely totally on you, chat. Those of you who can give super tips and super chats, please do. We appreciate it. Those of you who cannot, I just am happy that you're here. And I love the way that this works, that those of you who can't afford to send super tips or super chats, you still get to be here and you get free entertainment, because those of you who can't afford it do. And I love you guys for it. So never send me your grocery money. Never send me your ramen money. Only send me your Starbucks money. You know how it works. I don't want your ramen money. Take care of you first. All right. So
I mention one thing too, by the way. You know, King of the Hill. You remember the show King of the Hill? You ever watch it?
Yes.
Right.
Very rarely.
Okay. Well, you know, it started back up. You know, it had like years gap. I was like, oh my God, this is a scary thing. I loved King of the Hill. I used to watch it with my dad before he passed. You know, it was a family thing. I loved it. You know, we got 13 seasons out of it. It was amazing. Well, it rebooted, and so far I've enjoyed it. It's been really good. So shockingly, if people enjoyed that, bam, it's on.
Oh, that's good. I know a lot of people like those adult cartoons. I never could get into them.
It's not adult, really, though. It's not like if you watch it,
Well,
it's
I mean,
wholesome.
Oh, is it? I thought it was
Yeah.
more like for an adult audience.
No,
I don't
no,
mean
no.
adult like bad. I just mean
No, it's like a wholesome guy. He reminds me of, I've got an uncle that doesn't, you know, he's a red-blooded American. He doesn't swear. He doesn't do any of that kind of stuff, right? I mean, he's just one of those people who loves his job, loves everything there. It reminds me very much of Hank Hill. I like it. I like the wholesomeness, and sometimes the fish out of water to it.
Yeah, I just never could get into and I'm just not into animation as an adult. I don't know what my problem is, because everybody says it's really funny and I should watch it. Jacqueline Burns, I wanted to bring up your comment here because this is kind of what we're talking about tonight, right? Scott was a lawyer, and even a high school student knows you should never sign your name to anything you haven't read through, especially the fine print. Hard to believe he didn't read what he was agreeing to. True, but we also, and I mean, this is the thing, right? This is why it's so difficult. It's like, I don't understand it, but maybe there's a story we don't know. Maybe there's something we don't know. And I would like to know what it is.
I feel like he rented out his name to these people. You know, he thought that, again, you probably promised the world. I mean, that's probably the truth. But, you know, because, I mean, again, you can look at some of these filings, especially like when we look, there are two cases that come in. Again, you know, we're still looking heavily at thumbnail, but remember Trespass 5 as well. I mean, those are both the babies there. And the thumbnail litigation, you can see Bruce all over it. But man, Trespass 5, holy God. That is one of the most wackadoodle things I've ever seen. And it is definitely a Bruce filing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And in fact, because this has all happened now, and we are talking about Scott Stark, who has passed away yesterday, the thumbnail case that he brought on behalf of Lynette is still active in the Levy County Court. And I thought we would go over this today and kind of bring it up and relook at it, because we need to remember what this thing was about and also how terrible it was from the get-go. So this is the thumbnail case right here. So it was brought by Michelle Preston, not Lynette, interestingly.
Yeah.
Once again, we have a different name.
That name's like a transformer, man. You know what I like, by the way? Like with like again, if you watch these people in the ecosystem, even if they were to like tiny, we're not even really disagreeing. We're just talking about, you know, two viewpoints on something. But man, in that ecosystem, they destroy each other for any kind of disagreement. That's one thing I love watching about them, you know. Like if they step out of line, buddy, they get smacked down. That's what happened to the ladies whose names on this. Again, she's also she's standing quite alone these days.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So here we have the lawsuit for the thumbnails that was brought against Jeremy Hales, George, Larry Foreman, who was DUI guy, and Terrence Graves, DJ Radis.
Yeah.
Now,
DJ Redis, who was the funniest one out of all. I mean, I tell you, like props to DJ again. They thought he would be the weak voice. They did. They thought they would somehow high pressure him. You could see this, by the way. I'm not just throwing this out there. Bruce said this behind the scenes. We got to see the screenshots of it. But Bruce thought they could lean on DJ Radis, and DJ Radis, he would make a deal with them, and essentially, you know, it would harm everyone else. They could turn it into a case. And DJ Radis was the guy who made their lives absolute hell and made fun of him all the time. And I loved it. Anyway, go ahead.
So comes now the plaintiff, Michelle Preston, buying through her undersigned attorney, and is Scott Stark, and files her complaint for injunction and damages under Florida Statute 540.08, and would state as follows: plaintiff Michelle Preston is a resident, and all these other people are residents where they are. Count 1. Violation of 540.08 versus Jeremy Hales. Beginning in 2023, defendants Hales and George fabricated a reality drama for content on their YouTube channel, What the Hales, which is a very big allegation. Okay. How do you fabricate stuff that's actually happening to you? This is the thing that kills me about this. They think these things happen to them from their neighbors. Their neighbors did these things to them. They report it, and somehow they're fabricating a drama. Okay.
Right. Indeed.
Like, what are you saying? That John Cook didn't wave a gun at him? It's on video. Are you saying that they didn't post these things on Facebook? Because they did.
Well, the protective order too. I mean, again, they keep trying to turn it into something that's not realistic, but a court disagreed with them.
Yes, an Ohio court did disagree with them. So Ms. Preston, it says it was centering on Preston, her ex-husband with whom she resides, John Cook, and the theme of it was bad neighbors. It was originated based on false premise that Ms. Preston and Mr. Cook stalked us to Otter Creek by purchasing property located across the road from where Hale's owned property. Well, that's weird, because we've got all these YouTube or Facebook posts by her saying, I moved here because Jeremy Hale's my famous neighbor is across the street and property values are going to go up.
Yeah.
She literally said that. So
yeah.
Hales and George have stolen Miss Preston's and Mr. Cook's lives for content on their YouTube channel, What the Hales. Again, what does this have to do with the cause of action?
What does that mean? Yeah, well, that's the same thing. Again, you know,
this is allegedly a copyright lawsuit. And
yeah, I thought this was the worst one I'd seen until I saw Trespass 5.
Yeah, Trespass 5 was worse. By the way, folks, if you are confused about how many lawsuits are out there and you want a cheat sheet, I did a video today that I released this afternoon, a cheat sheet for all the What the Hales lawsuits that are happening currently, in order from the Ohio protective order all the way through to the current lawsuit that we have filed, me, Tug, Jeremy Hales, against Lips, Legally Leslie. I did that. It's like 18 minutes long. Please go check it out on my channel because it will give you some, and we might look at that flow chart tonight as well. Because it's interesting and it's huge. I just want to show you how big it is. That's what she said. Damn it.
That's what she said.
You have to pull out the joke. You're like,
oh, crap. Phrasing. So this is, I'll have to get that out later because it's very interesting to see how wide this has spread. I mean, it's just outrageous. It's an octopus that it keeps growing arms. And it's just nuts. All right. So Hales and George have stolen their lives, blah, 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 subjecting them to harassment, bullying, defamation. None of these things are in this lawsuit, though, by the way. They're not being sued for harassment, bullying, defamation, invasion of privacy. None of that. I don't know why he's mentioning it. I don't know why that's in there. I don't know why it matters. Because if this is about copyright, you should stick to copyright. To promote the videos in What the Hale's YouTube Bad Neighbor storyline, Hales and George have published and displayed Miss Preston's image in the channel's video thumbnails for approximately 125 public videos. Oh my God. Hold on. Hold the phone. Do you remember in the deposition, Scott Stark was asked how many thumbnails were, and it's right here in his own filing, 125. But he didn't know.
yeah, because he didn't write it.
But did he even read it?
Yeah. Well, he said, well, I make changes, final draft and signing it. But I don't believe that. I don't, because he had no idea what was in these lawsuits. He probably signed it, but I have a real problem believing anything else.
Yeah. This is it's just unbelievable because it's right there. It's 125. And he couldn't say whether it was 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or between 100 and 200. He didn't know. All without her consent. Videos on What the Hales with thumbnails not containing the image of Miss Preston typically have 30 to 40,000 fewer views than those with her image. I don't believe her image is the thing that's causing people to click. Do you? Do you think anybody is clicking on an image of Lynette Preston because they really want to see that?
That's the reason. I think it's the insanity with the lawsuit itself, or with the protective, or actually the protective orders are where all that crazy imagery came from. And yeah, I mean that depot itself. Once you hear a little smattering of it, you kind of get addicted to it.
Yeah, it's not really the picture so much. It's the topic.
Preston's a superstar, man.
She's a celebrity. Bruce said so himself.
He did indeed.
He did indeed. Hales and George have also published Miss Preston's name and image in many of the same videos where they use her image in the thumbnail. Well, yeah, they're talking about a public court case and she's involved in it. Hales and George's publication and use of Miss Preston's image and name has been for commercial and or advertising purposes. Nope, not at all. That's where the problem comes in. The definition of commercial and advertising purposes, which there is an exception in the law. We have gone over this multiple times. Oh, yeah. And the exception says news programs, broadcasts, podcasts are accepted from this because they're not commercial purposes. That is not just because you make money on a podcast does not mean the use of the image for the podcast is in itself commercial or advertising purposes. You would have to put her face on a mug, on a t-shirt, on some boxer shorts and sell it for
you notice they didn't go after the media who covered, the whole mess with the arrests and stuff when they were using her image in coverage. They didn't mind that. They didn't say, oh man, they are, they're going out and they're trying to make money off of her. I wonder why.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, the ecosystem uses pictures of Jeremy Hales on their thumbnails all the time.
Yeah.
So
they also use Lynette Preston and a child too. Why isn't she suing them? Especially after they kept the money.
Yeah, it's very weird. So they're claiming that it was used for commercial and advertising purposes of promoting monetized videos in the fabricated Bad Neighbors storyline on What the Hale's YouTube channel. Florida Statute 540.08 provides that when a person's likeness is used without their consent, they may bring an action to enjoin their unauthorized use and to recover for loss and injury sustained by the publication, including reasonable royalties and damages. Hales violated Florida Statute 540.08 by publishing Miss Preston's pictures on video thumbnails without her consent and by publishing and using her name in the images and videos without her consent. No, that's not how that works, because they left out the exception to the rule. As a result, Hales' publication and the use of Miss Preston's picture and name without her consent, Miss Preston has sustained loss and injury. Count 2, violation of 540.08 against George, which is basically the same thing, same stuff. Count 3, violation of 540.08 versus Larry Foreman. I like this one. Foreman, in the guise of covering the what the Hale story, in the guise of covering it, I mean, he did cover it. He wasn't pretending to cover it. He did cover it.
He covered it well. That's the thing. That's what bothers him. He covers it well.
Oh, Bruce is so jealous of Larry. You
can tell, man.
Oh my God. He wants to be Larry Foreman so bad, and he's never going to be Larry Foreman. It's sad. And to capitalize on the story's following in the form of views and subscribers to his channel, Larry doesn't need that. Larry has like 600,000 subscribers. Come on, calm down. Published and displayed Miss Preston's image in his channel's video thumbnails for 9 public videos. Oh no, not 9 videos. All without obtaining her consent. You want to read this part?
You know what I think's funny? Like, they still get pissy about it too. You see how my thumbnails mock that idea. They do. Mm-hmm. They mock the idea that I can talk about this, and I use Jeremy Hill's in mine. I use us if we're on there. I use, like, depending. If you're on there, I use yours.
Yeah, you use that freaking picture that I hate.
Yeah, the one the one you love. That's the one I'm using.
No, I don't love it. I was 20 pounds fatter, and you keep using it.
Oh, you said like that other time. You were like, publicly, I will say that I hate it, but secretly, I love it.
You are lying. Oh my God. Why
That's a direct
do you lie
quote.
like
It's
this?
a direct quote, Chad. Direct
it's
quote.
Not a direct quote.
Direct quote.
He keeps using this picture I hate.
Yeah.
I don't even know where he got it. He like found it on Google.
Yep. A chat. I know you agree. I know you do. Next time when you super chat, make sure you tell her that you love the thumbnail that I use. You know, super chat, she'll have to read it.
Doesn't even look like me anymore.
Super chatter and say, my name is Megan and I approve Tug's thumbnail. Yeah. It'll be perfect because she'll have to read it.
He just keeps using it. It is driving me insane. And because I keep telling him I hate it, he's going to keep doing it.
I'm telling you, people should go back and look at the Clayton Eckerd ones, the older ones, because you'll find
tiny heads.
Yeah, I put like tiny Megans. There's one. I don't.
Hair.
Well, they hit one thumbnail, and I don't remember if it was this one, but I made a great one. I took Clayton's hair, and if you zoom in on it, it's got like hundreds of little Megans making up the hair.
All that stupid picture that I don't like. Oh my God, he just will not stop. I mean, look, I have so many pictures. I have so many better pictures that he could have used. Like, I've sent him, and I keep sending them to him, and he doesn't use them. I'm
they never come through, Megan. I don't know.
I'm like, hey, look, I have a new picture. Look, this one's good. What's wrong with this one?
I've never
seen it. He doesn't use it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure you haven't. You've seen it. I sent you pictures.
Technical problems. I don't know what you're saying.
You're so full of crap. Oh my God. There are so many better pictures of me. There's like some really good new ones that are like updated and new.
Hey, Megan, I need you to here. Will you read this, please?
No, I will not.
Read it. No, it's a super chat. You have to read it.
No, I do not. I do not have to.
You read it. You have to.
I'm not
That's
going
your rule
to.
here.
No,
Come on,
I refuse.
you need to.
I refuse. I will not.
Got to. People in super chat. They will. They'll keep super chatting. Come on, say it.
Maybe not. Thanks for the 5. My name is Megan, and I approve and love Tug's thumbnails.
Yes. Now somebody clip that, and I'm going to play it in my intro.
I hate you.
The more of you that do that, yes, that's. See, look, Bonnie right here is like, hey man, we love Doug's thumbnail. You see, I told you, it's their favorite. Why would I disappoint the crowd? Not like that.
Look, here's another one you could use. Look, new hair. Look, it's me now. But no, you don't use these.
You know how much
pictures
work
of
it is
me.
to remove the backgrounds, though?
I've already removed them for you.
No, it's got a background. It's blue. I don't know.
It
how
does
to
not
do.
have a blue background. This is one without a background. No, it
Too
doesn't.
much shadowing. I can't use that one. Light, brightness is off. I don't know.
What about this one? Is this one the same? Look, here's another one. Look, there's new pictures. You could use any picture that you want, but you continue. Actually, I don't like that one. That one sucks. You're going to use it, aren't you? Don't even think about it.
Yeah, somebody clip that one she doesn't like. Maybe I'll take the old picture and I'll put that one as your hair. It'll be great.
See, look at all these new pictures you could use. Look at, there's so many different pictures. But no, he has to keep using the picture that I hate.
Look at this thumbnail. Look at that one. What does that say? I can't read that right.
For God's sake. Teresa, why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me say these things? All right, Teresa Finn, thanks for the 2. My name is Megan. I love Tug's thumbnails.
Yay, we made a montage of these.
I'm being forced under duress to say this. These are not my thoughts. They are the chat's thoughts, and it's not okay.
That will not make it into the intro, by the way. That part, no. That's off script.
And Keith Peavyhouse sent a super tip.
I'm gay as hell, but oh boy, I really want hottie Megan Fox to be my baby mama.
Oh man, from Ricada too.
Oh, that was funny.
That's hilarious.
SF sent 5 too.
Which picture, Tug? Please show me. I love all your pictures of me, Tug. Which picture, Tug? Please show me. I love all your...
Oh no, Skipper Trucking.
My name is Megan Fox, and I absolutely love the picture that Tug uses of me.
I knew you'd be happy I gave Tug that picture.
This is so unfair.
This
is so unfair. It's so unfair.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. It's perfect.
It's not okay.
Were you asking me to read something before? I don't remember.
I think so. I don't know. I don't remember.
I got
Yes.
derailed.
All right. Start at the top of the page.
All this lawsuit was all about thumbnails. So I thought we needed to bring that up,
That's true.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what number were we on? 23?
22.
22. Okay. Foreman's publication and the use of Miss Preston's image and name has been for commercial and or advertising purposes, promoting monetized videos. Again, like you said, isn't it funny that this lawsuit here, if it worked, it would destroy 2L and Gang because they have used his image in so much stuff.
Oh, they have. And he said, if by some small chance they ended up winning this thing, I'm going to sue everybody who's put my face on their thumbnail. So they're going down.
For sure. I mean, that would be the kicker on it. They never think about what they do though. 23. Foreman has violated Florida Statute 540.08 by publishing Ms. Preston's picture on video thumbnails without her consent and by publishing and using her name and image in videos without her consent. My hair
is on fire.
I think that's probably one of your nightmares, isn't it? When your head goes Ghost Rider, I think you would be.
This is angry me. I'm angry because
I love all the people that are noting that how much that you love my thumbnails, by the way. I love it. I see more of them still coming in.
They're going to make me read this all night, aren't they?
Yeah, they should. Man. I see. And it started out with such a sad subject, but now we're talking about the great thumbnails. Yes. Now, actually, Foreman has great thumb. By the way, his thumbnail guy is there's a funny story about that. So one time I actually talked to him and he made me some thumbnails. I paid him to make some and they were great. The only problem is nobody could tell they were mine because they were too good. Because mine are not that great. Mine, like a normal one, it's like an image. If it's a video, it's an image, maybe 2 images stuck over on the right, and there will be 3 to 4 words that are blown up that are just shoved onto the left, and that's my thumbnail. And then you've seen all of my freaking live ones, but his thumbnails were so great. People were like, those are good, but whose are those?
Right. At some point, you kind of have branded your channel, and if you deviate from it, it's a problem.
Yeah, they're like, where are your shitty thumbnails, Doug? I was like, well, that's an interesting one. Never thought people would ask for those. But I see, as a result, the foreman's publication and use of Miss Preston's image and name without her consent, Miss Preston has sustained loss and injury. What loss and injury, by the way? What loss, what injury? Remember, they tried to pull the whole embarrassment thing too.
And the judge was like, "Yeah, no, like humiliation is not actionable. This is America."
Now, count 4. That would be violation 4. DJ Radis. You'll have to roll down.
Oh yeah, I have to. I lost my page. Hold on, I'm lost. I don't have it in front of me. Okay, here we go.
The thumbnail is well,
I was changing my thumbnail up.
Like AI, that picture that you made. Have you noticed like AI keeps making me fatter and fatter?
Well, oh God, I don't even want to tell you. I should go through sometime. Well, actually, I probably could. I've been trying to make this avatar of Tug for the new video that I have to play for you tonight. And oh my God, what ChatGPT has done to me is so frustrating. If I should roll through my conversation with them for you sometime, because it's hilarious, where I'm like, okay, take this exact image, don't change anything on it. All I wanted it to do was add chunky gold rings to every finger. That's it. That's all I wanted it to do. And it would screw up the mask every time. I'd be like, no, I said, don't touch the mask. Don't touch the mask. Don't touch anything else. Just do the rings. It finally did it. It didn't touch the mask, put all the rings on, but then it put bracelets on you, but the bracelets weren't on the wrist. They were on the fur. I was like, are you kidding me? I can't win.
Oh my God, you should read. You think yours are fun, I mean, oh Lord, let me show you something real quick.
I finally got it though. I think. Well, no, really? Look what it did. Okay, so the one that I wanted it to change, but not change anything but the rings, was this one. I said, oh no, that one had rings. This is the one where I put bracelets on the fur.
That's funny. In the fur.
In the fur. And I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. So before, it had looked like this, but it had no rings on it. Then it puts the bracelets on it. And I'm like, no, take the bracelets out. And look what it did. Now it made the perfect image, but it changed the colors. And I said, don't change anything. And look, it made it so dark, but the rings are really cool.
It always
look what it did. But look at how cool the rings are. And I'm like, but I can't see it now. You made it too dark, and I liked the color scheme. Why would you do this to me?
You're like, yeah, that's great if I had night vision.
That's great if I can see in the dark. And then it finally did what I wanted, and look what it did to your mask. Oh, and also the mask on this one's screwed up too. Look, it's it's wrong.
I get it.
Look at this one. This one is perfect, including the belt buckle, which I love. But look at the mask. Look what it did.
I like how, ChatGPT will lie to you. It will tell you.
Totally
it'll be
lies.
Like, hey, I'm going to take, I'll be like, hey, you take these 2 pictures, and you take the first one, everything, but you take the second one with the face. And ChatGPT, it's like, okay, I'm done that. I've cut it out. Here's your picture. And instead of doing that, it made the second picture smaller and just slapped it across the face of the first one. It's like, what? You didn't cut it out. It was like, oh yeah, I didn't. I see that. Okay, well, I'm going to do it again. Here, I fixed it. Same thing, same one. And I have a conversation.
Look at the mask. I actually love this one, except the mask is screwed up. But
yeah, that looks good. Like
great.
The coat looks
but
great.
Also the t-shirt. See, this is where we went wrong.
Yeah.
Instead of just stopping here, we were like, no, fix the t-shirt, because it says hat, rack. But frankly, I think we should make a song called Hat, Rack, Rack.
Rack.
I think Grok fell into something good here. I like this. I like this one. And the mask is all scrunched up. But like, it just doesn't. It's just always something or another.
It's always stupid. That's the problem.
It's always.
You know?
I know. How can it take over like Skynet when it can't even get a
That's why
simple edit?
we're not all going to get eliminated like with Skynet, you know, where it's smart and it looks at us as problems. It's going to be a stupid accident, you know? That's what's going to kill us all.
Now, here's one. It put rings on one hand, but look what it did to the mask. And I'm like, that's not what I asked for. And I asked for gold jewelry, not silver. I mean, it just doesn't listen. It just doesn't listen. I can't tell you how many hours I wasted on this. It was ridiculous. I could have drawn it by now. I could have. I should just draw it the way I wanted.
You know, that's why artists, like actual artists, will always remain there. Props, by the way, to you, Dead Punk, my friend. He's the one thing.
For real.
I had to model the mask. The only way I could get a mask that worked was not getting AI to tell me how to do it. Finally, like when he made a specific design, that one that it will create, you know, I've been using, was his design. And AI figured out finally how to emulate it, but it was him. AI, I could not get it in prompts or anything. Any of the prompts, like, no. But finally, there was a design, and it was like, oh, yeah, I get it. What's really funny is I took, if people want to know how ridiculous this stuff is, let me show you what you work with Grok. This is why I feel like Grok gaslights me, you know?
Wait, where did you go? There you are. I don't know what happened. You disappeared off the screen.
Yeah, I'm sure that was just an accident. Totally just an accident.
Yes, it was totally accidental.
Yeah. Say, I told it to make it more realistic. Now, this is what it decided to do. It gave me two choices. It took the same one. This is me made more realistic. I said, don't change anything. Just make it more realistic.
You know what? AI really does think that you're black. This is like the third time. This is like the third time.
Oh, it does it all the time.
Also, AI is racist. It really
it's
is.
very racist because I'll be like, make me look like a rapper. And you know what it'll do? It won't change anything that I'm wearing. It'll just make me black. And I'm like, what? What are you trying to say?
Why do you have a peppermint face on the right? Peppermint.
That's the one that it took. Peppermint candy. That's what it decided. That was it, making it more realistic. More realistic is taking the mask and making it either I'm a black man or I look like a peppermint candy, one or the other. That's Grok. Like I said, Grok is so dumb. I feel like it's gaslighting me.
I know.
You know,
it's true. It's true. Grok is dumb as hell. There are a few super tips in here that are hilarious that I got to bring up. Rhea Norman, thanks for the 5.
Hug, that thumbnail picture is a banger.
Oops, oh, I have to fix OBS because I apparently put my picture in front of super tips. Hold on, let me make me smaller. There we go. That should work now. Okay. Dan Davis, thanks for the 5.
My name is Megan Fox, and I approve Tug's thumbnail.
I do not. That is a lie.
Perfect. No, I heard you.
That is a lie, Dan. A DTG 1032, thanks for the 5.
Imagine if this law actually covered this activity. Hassan Piker and his lackeys would never have to work another day in their lives after suing commentary channels.
That's very true. Well, that'd be like anybody we know, too. Like Nick, he'd be rich.
True. SF, thanks for the 5.
Finally, I serve my punishment for deleting Tug's stream. Reading about my love of Tug's thumbnails and square pulled points.
That's very true. There you are, your penance, ma'am.
Oh, I'm getting it served up tonight, aren't I? Rosalind Duke, thanks for the $15. Uh-oh, buckle in, folks. This one's going to take a while.
Keep it up, Tug. Keep using it, Tug.
Keep using it, Tug.
Keep using it, Tug. I approve this message.
Keep using it, Tug. Wink, wink. I got you, Tug.
You people are incorrigible. You know, incorrigible.
Yes, I encourage all of you. Yes.
What are you trying to say here, Key? That you don't like my AI images of Tug? They're fantastic. They're so good. Well, if it could ever get it right, they're good.
God, I have so many freaking AI images.
And actually, I made that one out of one Tug made, and I was just trying to change it a little bit. I wanted it to be I wanted it to have a crown. That's all I wanted, was to put a crown on your head like a king. And it kept changing stuff. Like it messed up the shirt, and then that's when we went down this rabbit hole of trying to
I really
save
like
it.
that freaking that hyper realistic fur coat. I really do like that.
The one that Grok did,
Yeah,
or the one, yeah,
that
I
one
do
that-
too.
yeah,
And
the
I couldn't
first one.
get it. I couldn't get ChatGPT to recreate that. It just won't. It will not recreate it. I don't know
Every
why.
AI has like something weird about it, you know. But ChatGPT, like it will lie to you. I can't stress that enough. It will do something and just flagrantly lie to you.
I
And then
know.
it'll be, and when you call it out, it's like, oh yeah, I did that. My bad. You know,
Yeah,
I
they're like, oh
totally
yes, I
apologize.
did. Totally ignore you. I'm sorry, I didn't do what you asked. It's totally unacceptable. I mean,
It's like you.
oh, it totally does. And then it tries to placate you. It's terrible.
Yep.
All right, let's get back on topic.
Okay,
That's
okay,
enough.
okay.
All right. Let's get to Can you get professional, please, for a moment?
Probably not. No, I can try a little bit.
All right.
Okay, am I reading?
You were you
Okay,
were
I'm
reading.
Okay, so this is against DJ Radis. So we will go to 26. DJ Radis, to capitalize on the stories following in the form of views and subscribers to his YouTube channel of the same name, DJ Radis, used Miss Preston's name, image, and likeness, including her voice, in more
No, that's
than
AI. That's an
Yeah.
AI voice. That's not
yeah,
her
that's
voice.
not actually her voice.
It's a
right?
computer. You can't copyright a computer voice.
In more than 50 thumbnails and in videos, often incorporating them into parody songs, mocking Miss Preston and her troubles.
Oh no, not parody songs.
Not the Win Dixie, ma'am. That's one of the songs I heard talking about. Like before they sued, it was the last one. I heard something about Win Dixie in it. I was like, for real? That DJ
Win
Radis
Dixie
is-
Shuffle.
It was just funny. Like right after they sued, I went back and listened to some of them, and I was like, "This is what they get mad over." You know, again,
Mhm.
you can. That's how you tell that these idiots have hyper small channels or non-existent channels. You know, because in the world of YouTube, if you get any reach whatsoever, you know, and all of them want it. All of them have wanted to be stars in some way, but they couldn't deal with it. You know, that's the thing. They couldn't deal with the day-to-day. You know, I'm not talking about the people calling you PDF files and all of that. I'm talking about the people setting your life on fire, you know, and everything else. Like they can't deal with Jeremy slightly mocking them and calling them walruses or fatties, you know?
Tug,
What?
I have a new thumbnail that I'm going to use for you going forward.
All right. Oh man, I look sexy. Look at that. You know what? I think I think me and Dave could hang out. You forgot my Whopper. Yeah, I need a Whopper.
If you don't stop, as long as you keep using that photo of me, I'm going to use this one. Look at-
I'm. You know the difference is I'm down with whatever.
It's Jabba the Tug.
What's bad is I'll take that image and I'll stick it with the one for you, and I'll put us both on the next live stream for me. I'll put Fatty Tug, yeah.
Fatty.
And then I'll put no.
2x4.
Then I'll take your image and you'll be a Whopper sitting around or something, you know, and I'll get Stupid Dave and we'll argue over the merits of it.
Oh God, this is funny, chat. You are so funny.
I like
Bill,
it, man. I look
Bill
pretty
sent
sexy. More
this.
Tug to go around. You know how much that necklace would be on today's market? Ooh, man.
You got to show this to Bug.
I will.
Who's always after you about being fat.
Oh yeah, she's always when she comes in, like she'll give me a hug and she'll be like,
Yeah, where is
you know,
Bug
pat my
patting
belly.
your belly? Yeah, we need Bug. Notorious TUG. Yes.
I've got a notorious TUG like avatar. Actually, I do have one.
So much for not derailing the stream again.
Yeah, I know. I was totally.
You were reading.
Yeah,
Look, it's
I was
me.
doing something.
It's
I don't
me.
remember.
I'm the problem. It's me. It's me.
It's all your fault.
All right. I'm sorry. We're gonna be professional.
Sure you are. Don't
I
lie to
am.
the people.
I am going to be professional. We're going back to the thumbnail lawsuit because we are catching up. We're doing a review of what Scott Stark was actually involved in before his untimely death and why it is a problem and needs to go forward for sanctions. Here I
mean,
go.
this is an awful lawsuit, honestly. And again, I can't stress enough. It may sound like garbage, but the stress, you may know you're going to win and everything else, but it's still stressful. There's still stress that comes with any litigation. There's stress when your bank account is getting drained by stupid people.
How do they think that the people they sued didn't experience stress at being sued? Do they think that Larry Foreman enjoyed getting sued for doing what he always does, finding stories he finds interesting and reporting on them? Do you think that did they think that didn't bother Larry at all and that he suffered no stress or personal issues because of it? At the time, his grandfather was dying.
Yeah, indeed.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but Larry was not on the air for a long time because he was taking care of his dying grandfather in his last days of his life for several months. And, he was in a very fragile state for a while there and had a lot of problems going on. And this added a whole lot of stress to Larry's life that I'm sure that he will talk about, when it comes to damages time for this. But I remember, because Larry's a friend of mine, I remember that he was under stress when you changed it. We're never going to get through this stream.
I can't help it, man.
I know. But okay.
Objects in the rearview mirror, man.
Maybe larger than they appear.
They may appear butterier than they are. Butter.
Oh, that's
God.
so good.
Oh, I love it.
So
Man,
good.
you know what? If I put on any more weight, I could be part of the 2L gang. We have the 2XL gang.
The 2XLs. I forgot about that nickname. You guys could be the butter triplets.
Oh my God, that'd be funny. Slap a little butter on it.
We aren't ever going to recover after this. This is it, chat. The show's over. We might as well just quit. Wait, it's time to end the show. I'm just kidding. No, we're going to go over this. All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We reading.
All right, Fatty, come on.
Oh, draw. Okay, so
Heavy breathing.
every breath smells like butter. Oh my God. You don't breathe, you churn butter, baby. Like, holy shit.
Does Reality has a very good point here. But Megan, what the hell is wrong with you? You should know that no person's feelings count but those of the hate group. Nobody else is allowed to be a victim. Yeah, this is how they operate. The things that they claim people are doing to them, they're doing to everyone else, and you're not allowed to complain.
What happened to them not talking about Jeremy, by the way? They kept saying, no more talking about Jeremy. No more. And what did they do? They stopped taking days off, and all they do is talk about Jeremy.
She didn't even take one day off of talking about him. She said she was only going to talk about him on Sundays. And she was going back to other topics. She hasn't taken one day off from it. It's ramped up to 1,000. Plus, the attacks on me have really increased. I don't know what the hell is going on with her obsession with me. But I have now taken over the entire Fertarigo's case. Nobody else is involved. It's just me. If you listen to them, it's just me.
What I thought was very weird. Okay, they are very intent on intimidating you out of suing. They keep talking about how concerned they are, but where was that concern when you were being falsely accused and defamed and being sued? Where was that concern also for the kids of that person? They love bringing up people's kids. I mean, hey, why weren't they concerned about those? I mean, after all,
it's interesting. She brings up that Megan said she would not sue because she has college to pay for. I said I don't like to get into lawsuits. I didn't say I will not sue. I said I won't unless I have to. I won't unless it's imperative that I do so. And also, how come that concern for my kids' college funds wasn't there when I was being sued vexatiously by Leslie for absolutely nothing? For
Indeed.
nothing. Like there was no, they don't care about my kids. That this is just a way to keep bringing my children up with their vitriol and going after my family.
Wait. Here's a little one. I'm going to ask her about this.
Oh, you got to show her. Hold on. I'm going to make it big on the screen. Here we go.
All right, here we go. Hey, kiddo. Hey, come here. I want to show you something. Come here over here. Come here.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Look on the screen. Look at how fat I've gotten on there. Oh, of course, she goes straight to patting me on the belly. Yeah. Yeah. You like that there?
Ask her if it's more accurate.
Is that more true to life, you think?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you think so? What do I need? Like some donuts in my hand or something?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe a whole cake.
Yeah, like.
She's like, yeah. And so it shows it, put it in my mouth.
You make another one of this, and then you make the one with he putting the cake in his mouth.
You're putting a cake in his mouth? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Well, I mean, it's big enough. Could he just shove that whole cake in there in one bite? Do you need to chew?
You need to feel glad if he swallows that, eat it.
Yeah, that's dangerous, right? All right, here, give me a hug. Give me a kiss.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Upstairs. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, you go have fun.
She's so cute.
She is. She's funny. She thought that was hilarious. She was like, she's funny. Like she's funny.
I heard her laughing.
Well, you know, with it, like, you know, she's got that laugh, but she knows she's not supposed to call people fat, you know, because it's not nice, right?
Right.
But she knows she can get away with it. Like if it's me and her, you know, I don't care if you know, like say whatever, you know, it's okay, right? But she's like, there's a lot of people listening, so she's, you know, covering her mouth, so she, you don't see her laughing, even though you can't see her at all. It's pretty funny. Oh, she's so funny.
I have so the video that I made today, by the way, here, let me pull this up real quick because we'll get back to that in a second. I look at this. This is really unbelievable. So this is the video that I did today. I used this.
Oh yeah, your breakdown. Yeah.
This is the lawsuits, all the lawsuits that Jeremy Hales has been involved in this case, or starting out. It started out with, look at this, the Ohio the permanent injunction for stalking against John Cook and Lynette Preston with the 2 contempts. Then they go and they file for stalking, or she does, in Levy County in Florida, which she voluntarily dismissed 11 months later.
They lie about the timeline with this too. They lie about when these two take place. They try to make it sound like it's switched up, you know?
Well, it kind of happened at exactly the same time as how it seems. Like he went to court in September in Ohio, but he didn't actually get the injunction until October. And it was right around the exact same time that she filed in Levy County. So, but she definitely knew he had gone to Ohio first, because she talks about that in the courtroom in front of Judge Grudge, right? Then there's the Hales v. Preston in federal court, which was filed in March of 2024. Then Preston files the thumbnail lawsuit in August of 2024, which was dismissed voluntarily by the plaintiff in favor of Jeremy Hales, still awaiting sanctions. Then we have the stupidest lawsuit on earth in September. The next month files the Trespass 5, also voluntarily dismissed. Look at Fed 2. Look at it. Look at this. So in my video, you'll notice that I left off 2 people on accident, David Helm and Dave Teshinger, Stupid Dave. I left off Stupid Dave and MLS on accident. I knew I was going to leave somebody out. I mean, look at how many people are in this thing. This is the Fed too, tortious interference and conspiracy and business defamation. Cook, Preston, Maskin, Lee, Bone Crusher, Gator, Hughes, Luthman, Helm, and Teschendorf. Volmit, by the way, is not named in that suit. Somebody said, you forgot Volmit. No, he's not sued. And then we had Federigo's Lips filing against Hales, Fox, Shizzy, J-Hip, and Tug, voluntarily dismissed twice in our favor. And then we have ours that the Kodunks filed, Kodunks v. Federigos, filed in July. 8 lawsuits, Tug. 8.
This is crazy, man.
That's why this case, look at, you can't even read it when I back up so you can see the whole thing. You can't even read it. It's so big.
Well, that's why when people are like, hey, you know, other stuff, how? I feel like I am so far behind on getting, because usually, you know, I like to deep dive people, and there are some really crazy things that we have deep dived on certain people that we haven't had a chance to show yet, and they will very much surprise you. You know, Megan, tomorrow we'll probably cover some of the reasons we sued. That's what I was going to cover, and I had technical difficulties the other night. But Megan, we have a very interesting case. I don't want to spoil this one, you know, but I think the next time you go live, since that was going to be part of tonight's for sure, you know, especially, but then we had this Stark news hit. That was going to be the topic.
Yeah,
but
and I think it's important that we go over what exactly Stark filed that led to the sanctions. I mean, and so far, I mean, this is crazy. Where were we at? 28?
Yeah,
29?
we're 29 now. As a result of his publication, use of her name, image, likeness, voice without her consent, again, loss and injury.
Right. Okay. Oh, you're right, chat. I didn't put the bankruptcy in there. Oh my God. When did she file that? That must have been in July.
Isn't there a meeting in 4 days with it?
There is on the 11th, I thought. Is it
No,
on the 8th?
8th for some reason. Maybe I'm thinking the wrong day. Maybe, I don't know. Chat may know.
Huh.
I can't
All right.
remember.
Well, I'm gonna put it under Fed 1. I'm gonna call it Preston Files for bankruptcy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot this. Fed 1 halted. Wow. Yeah, there's so much, you guys. There's so stinking much. And that's why that's why I can't stop covering it. I wouldn't stop. I'm never going to stop.
It's Wednesday. So it's the 6th.
The craziest freaking thing you've ever seen.
I want to see it all to conclusion. You know, I want to know what's here. And I want to see how the aftermath sorts because, you know, I want to know. I really want to know.
Agreed.
I've invested a lot of time. It's with any of these. You know, we invest a lot of time. Now this one, I've never seen the kind of forces like somebody has ever been up against like this. The people in it, the level of threats that we receive too is wild, just to be honest, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to shut us down. You know, they tried to shut every person that's tried to cover this down, but they tried to shut us down by bringing in some outside person and trying to ruin any reputations and more. They're still threatening Megan Fox. You know, they threaten you all the time, trying to intimidate. They try to intimidate us all with the money numbers and all of that. But I mean,
yeah, apparently we owe them $1 bazillion already.
It's so wild.
11 billion, I think, was the last number that they came up with.
I'm just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Apparently, we're going to owe Lips and Doritos $11 billion by the end of the 21 days. Whoo, boy!
But they're going to attend all of our depots and stuff too. Remember, even though the case is going to be dismissed. I was like, you do know how cases work, right? Oh no, you don't. Thank you.
Right. All right. All right, so count 5, injunction versus all defendants. Florida statute 540.08 explicitly provides for injunctive relief. They're basically saying that the plaintiff is likely to succeed. No, she wasn't. And then she asked for the following relief: an injunction enjoining defendants from further publishing her name, image, likeness in their thumbnails, economic damages, reasonable royalties, exemplary damages, punitive damages, costs and attorney's fees, plus any relief this honorable court deems just and proper. Okay, here's the thing though. Florida law 540.08, like I told you, has an exception. Let's see, Florida 540.08, which is the thing they did not cite in this lawsuit, which is unbelievable, but I mean, totally believable that they wouldn't cite the exception. I believe that because we know that this was fraudulent in the first place, and I think purposeful that they left out. This has already been litigated. It's been litigated a bunch of times, like a bunch of times. So I believe the exception was under, if I remember, it was like D, B, C. Where's the exception? Wait, we want the 540.08. Dun, dun, dun. Ah, here it is. 4A. The provisions of this section shall not apply to the publication, printing, display, or use of the name or likeness of any person in any newspaper, magazine, book, news broadcast, or telecast, or other news medium or publication as part of any bona fide news report or presentation having a current and legitimate public interest, and where such name or likeness is not used for advertising purposes. Duh. This right here is what they left out, which is absolutely the context in which those images were used on Larry's channel, Jeremy's channel, and DJ Radis's channel. In DJ Radis's case, his legitimate public interest is a parody site, and parody is protected by the First Amendment.
Indeed. You know, and all you have to do is read down, which is something they refused to do, by the way. Anytime the ecosystem covered it.
Oh, yeah, they never mentioned that.
No. Yeah, well, you know,
Ever,
something
once.
else none of them wanted mentioned. They didn't want this little bitty, wonderful screenshot mentioned either. Pull that
Oh,
sucker
what was this?
This is their contract. Remember this
Oh,
wonderful
yeah.
thing? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's
Scott,
go over that.
Yeah, Scott and Mr. Manskin, they will co-counsel Michelle Preston, although Scott will appear in. So they thought they would get. At first, they thought they were going to have him for Florida, like the Fed cases and everything. They thought they were going to throw him out, which is amazing when you think about it. As counsel of record for, and then we'll be signing all filings wherein that tells you who's writing this, by the way. I will be non-appearing co-counsel. So this tells you, tied at the hip, Bruce writing this. You know, Mr. Bruce Manskin will do as much of the writing as possible. And of course, Scott will take my drafts and revise as he sees fit and feel comfortable, since it will be his filing. He has the final say on everything that his name will be signed to, because he has to. But the main point is that Bruce will be a contributor. So they put this in the contract. Again, very clear, very expressed. Mr. Bruce will be the out-of-court legal spokesman for Preston, out-of-court legal spokesperson. What is that? PR. That's what that is. I will be the one who appears on webcasts to speak about the case on behalf of our team, to take calls from media, give statements, prepare press releases, all consultation with Scott. That's crazy. Everyone in the legal team will be able to contribute as much as possible. This involves this strategy in the case. The representation includes 1, defending the claims filed by Hale versus Preston, and 2, filing and prosecuting counterclaims. The duration is until A, settlement, or B, end of litigation. However that comes, dismissal, judgment at trial. It does not include appeals. If there is a settlement along the way that involves payment to Preston, this is how your money was going to work, because they said they were, remember, it was a flat fee with Bruce. He doesn't charge money, right? Yeah, but there will be a 40% contingency fee. So any exception.
And he said he was pro bono.
Pro bono,
free.
Indeed. Yep. And
this is not free. This is the opposite of free.
With And let's see. So any acceptance would be with this understanding. Contingency fee would be 70% Scott. So 28% of the gross. This is my problem with Scott Stark and letting him off the hook. He was promised a lot of money. And it is noted right here. He is giving his name to Bruce to put on legal documents. Now, of course, he gets to change as he sees fit. He didn't even know anything about the documents, though. But yeah, I mean, he's basically a puppet for this guy to master with 28% of a gross amount. Bruce gets 12% of the gross amount, or 30% of the 40%, which again is 12% of the overall total. That's the way we should say it. With Scott, of course, giving credit for the $4,500 or whatever has been paid. So they paid him out of pocket $4,500. If there is a judgment awarded and collected, same percentages apply, but if there is a separate award of attorney fees, the amount of such award would offset the amount coming. Give me 1 second. There's the second part of this. Gotta find it. Well, I think it's on here. Where are you at? I don't know. It's somewhere else. I don't have it pulled up yet. Let's see.
Well, that's all right.
Yeah, I thought I had that one. Actually, let me see. Do I have it? No, maybe I don't have it pulled up right here. That's enough, though. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
All right. Well, then I've got something to show, because so they dismissed that case after being threatened. By the way, they were threatened with sanctions. I don't remember the motion. For some reason, our Dropbox on the thumbnail case is not complete. I wish it were. I don't
because everything got weird and wonky with all the way things were thrown in. You know, you had... It went to like a mess after the dismissal. You know, all of a sudden they came in. Remember how that went? It was supposed to be Lynette Preston was going to. She was actually going to be deposed, and right before she was deposed, they were like, game over.
They dropped it. But they must have said something about the safe harbor period in motion. I just don't remember, because Larry put this up shortly after they dismissed the case, right? It says, Bruce, you better buckle up, Buttercup. Our motion for sanctions for filing a frivolous lawsuit and making us spend money on attorney's fees against Bruce and Scott is going to be heard in Levy County, Florida on February 5th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. in the Levy County Courthouse in front of Judge Davis. Megan Fox Ryder informed me that she will have a camera person in the room to record. Chandler and I will be there along with Jeremy and I imagine George to confront our accusers. I'm really looking forward to this. Buckle up. Justice is coming. Now, you recall that February hearing was delayed because Scott Stark said he had health problems.
And
wasn't
you
able to
remember
make
the
it.
answer to that?
Oh, yes, I have
Okay,
that.
okay. All
So
right.
the answer to it, so Bruce went on Facebook, and this is what he said about Larry's post. This is a storyline for
Love
PR.
this one.
The case is closed and there is no hearing on any sanctions motion scheduled. February 5th was a hearing on the motion for summary judgment, which is moot. There is no basis to seek damages for having to spend money to defend a frivolous lawsuit unless you've prevailed on the underlying allegedly frivolous lawsuit on its merits. It was voluntarily dismissed without prejudice and so can be refiled.
These guys are this is what I mean by these people are all clowns, because you have one clown here saying that it doesn't matter that you had to spend money defending a false lawsuit. You have to eat it because you didn't win. And it's like, yeah, I did win. I actually won because you dropped it.
You dropped it. Yeah. And in Florida, if you do it twice, that is considered a judgment on the merits. And anyway, he's wrong about this. And how do I know he's wrong? Well, because look at this. This is hilarious. Well, we'll get to first. We've got to see Larry's response because this is great. Oh my God, Larry's response. And then we'll get to the court's response. Larry said, I'm just going to leave this here for those in doubt. Florida's safe harbor law, Section 57-105 of the Florida statutes gives parties 21 days to voluntarily dismiss unfounded claims without facing sanctions. This law is intended to discourage baseless claims and unnecessary litigation costs. How it works: a party serves a motion for sanctions to the other party. The other party has 21 days to withdraw the claim or defense, which that did happen in that case. They did that. If the other party withdrew, and they didn't drop it before the 21 days was up. Yeah, thank you, chat. Safe harbor. I got the clip of Jeff, by the way. I'm going to be putting that on the soundboard. I got him doing the screaming, so I'll have that for the future. If the other party withdraws or corrects the issue, the motion is not filed and the party is not subject to sanctions. If the other party does not withdraw or correct the issue, the matter proceeds and the party may be sanctioned, and the court may award attorney's fees. And the court may determine if the other party or their lawyer must pay the sanctions. Interesting.
That's
then
funny.
we have Bruce saying that it was fake. It's not real. It cannot. Here's another Bruce post. This is great. Another Bruce post here. There is no basis for any sanctions following the voluntary dismissal of the thumbnails lawsuit. The law in Rule 1.420 is clear. The story of pursuing sanctions is contrived for content. Now, here's my absolute favorite screenshot to follow that up. This is like shot, and now here's the chaser. Wait, where is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, God, is this good? Good morning from Lindsay Polk, the judicial assistant.
So
the motion for sanctions can be set for 2/5/25 at 1:45 p.m. Please confirm how much time will be needed. Boom.
That was such a known. You know, it was so crazy because that should have flushed any perceived credibility. I'll go with perceived, you know, because I don't want to say person has
Yes, it
credibility.
should have. It should have. Everyone on that side should have gone, wait a minute. Bruce told us this couldn't happen. He told us there couldn't be a sanctions hearing. Suddenly there's a sanctions hearing. Not only so it didn't happen on the 5th because he was sick. He said he had cataracts, I think that time. It was the cataracts. It got rescheduled for April. He didn't show for that one either. The court still did not drop it. In fact, remember the back and forth, the judge had enough. He was like, no, you can't even show up on Zoom. You have to be in the courtroom now. And now I want to see your doctor's notes. And now I want to see the actual proof from the doctor that you can't be here because this is crazy. And we need to get this going.
Remember these too. There were these wonderful screenshots as well. Let's not forget these since we have them. You pull that up real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure.
These are ones Shara put up, remember?
Can you embiggen that?
Yes,
yeah, there we go.
Talking about the payments, remember? The payments to Scott
yeah.
Stark. So we have the, hey, you know, Bruce taking care of it all tomorrow. 300 you and 800 him. Bruce is giving you, it's no, 1,800. And you'll send them $300 a month starting in July. It's like, then they're talking about the firm. They are, you know, oh man, you know. Send it to Florida, you know, so they're talking about who that's going to be. Here's the wife getting paid right there. And they were going to have them as counsel in federal court. That was the original plan. That was going to be, and Bruce was going to puppeteer it from behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, we have undeniable proof of what Bruce did. This is not a conspiracy. We're not out here speculating. We have contracts. we have their discussion of how things were paid. We had Scott Stark talking about essentially how he was recruited into this, which I believe he lied to the court. Either a lie through omission or an out and out lie, because when you look at the statements that were made behind the scenes, I mean, the way that Bruce talks about going and picking them up again, he's telling you he recruited them. But the way Scott Stark told it, you know, it was through a portal by Preston. So both of these statements, they don't jive. And again, you know, Miss Stark, she has a lot of information out there, I'm sure. She's also, I'm sure she's being told to blame the people, you know, again, that were targeted by Bruce, also by them. You know, if she stopped and thought for a second, if she thought about the way it was dismissed, the fact that guy had a protective order and more, maybe they were talked into backing the wrong horse, and maybe she'd like to fix that.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't be taking advice from anybody who got me into this mess in the first place. I'll tell you that much. If it were me, I wouldn't be taking the advice of the people that got my husband into this. I might want to start listening to the people who are saying, hey, these people are bad news. Real bad news. And look at this. Look at this. So this, if you recall, was Scott Stark's attempt to withdraw from the case after sanctions hearing was set. This is a motion to withdraw as counsel. And it would state as follows: the attorney has health issues that would hinder his ability to serve his client at the present time. He needs cataract surgery and has other complications such as foot wound from diabetes and congestive heart failure. This is not made for the purpose of delay. Withdrawing will not hinder the interest of the plaintiff. And this was not granted. They did not grant, the court did not allow him to get out of this. So he was still the attorney of record after this for the April hearing. It was not granted. He was granted a continuance, but that's it. He was not granted,
Does Preston realize that everybody was going to dump her and she would be, I mean, they all dumped her. Everybody abandoned her. Like that amazes me. When I look at those documents, again, for whatever reason, I don't give a shit why Scott Stark got into that. I don't care if you defend monsters or whatever. You are still their counsel. And then suddenly you're like, hey, I've got all these problems. When did those problems appear, though? Well, they appeared when you were losing. They knew if they put Lynette Preston on the stand and Scott Stark was the one that actually was over the depot, you didn't have Bruce there to interfere and to do all of his other shenanigans and bullshit, it would blow up in spectacularly. They knew that. That's why I feel that they dropped this stuff. Now they can go in and say, actually, all this happened because of health. In fact, Bruce has been promoting that idea. He's been pushing, well, there were 2 that were dropped by health. And then there's the, what's the words he keeps using with Silverman? He keeps
malpractice.
Yeah, that's it. Malpractice.
Which is crazy. I want to play that clip of her being asked by Judge Davis if you agree to this, and she does, and he was very clear to have her answer those questions on the record. You can't then go back and say, my lawyer committed malpractice. I didn't really want that. You said you did on the record. Look at here. I found it. I found the motion to compel discovery and for sanctions. So here's the proof. Here's the proof that this was filed on 2. So this was, it looks like 2/28, 2025. Is that the filing date? Yeah. Wait. Yeah. How can that be? If the hearing was on 2/5, or supposed to be on 2/5, is this a different one? Another one? That doesn't make sense.
This was right. So wait, is that date's wrong? Is it 1/20? Is it supposed to be 1/28? And the e-file date's wrong or something?
Maybe it has to be 21 days before. No, I know what it is. Oh, I know why they sent them the letter before, because you don't file it when you put the.
That's right.
You don't file it. You just send it to them like by email and say, if you don't drop this in 21 days, we will file this.
You're
so
right.
This was after the 21 days and they filed it.
Yeah, that's correct.
It got filed. All right. So this is just their proof that they filed a motion for sanctions. So here it is. So plaintiff's counsel appeared on January 27th at a deposition and gave a full deposition. A copy of the transcripts and is attached as Exhibit 1. And stated he could not provide the documents requested in this subpoena, specifically all documents which support the claims made by you on behalf of your client via the complaint in this case, because our computer is down.
Yep.
And I am not lying about that.
See, this needs to be brought up too. Like all of this stuff, the delays at first were not about health reasons. They were supposed to be about electronic reasons. So there have just been this mass of delays as they kept pushing dates out. And then, you have the unfortunate thing that happens today. But they went out of their way to delay this thing and to delay it, and for all these erroneous bullshit reasons.
Yeah, no, our computer isn't working, and I can only type in all caps, and I can't do any, but I can send emails. On January 27th, 2025, the following exchange occurred at the deposition. All right, I will be Shockett and you be Stark. Ready?
Okay. All right.
Okay, I understand. All right. So do you have the lawsuit? Can we agree involves use of images of your client by several different defendants that you named?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any examples of the use of your client's image that would support your claims in this case?
I'm just doing a regular voice, by the way. The man's deceased today, so I'm just doing a regular voice, folks, you know. Yes, I don't have them with me right now. I can't produce them immediately, but yes, we do have these images.
Would you agree to provide them to me? You were asked in the subpoena today to bring them with you.
I don't have them with me. Our computer is down. I'm not lying about that.
I understand. That's what I'm saying. Images. I understand. You go ahead.
I will provide you with the images.
And then you'll provide me with the images when your computer is back up?
Or as soon as possible, yes.
After the deposition at 12:20 p.m. on January 27th, the undersigned sent an email to Mr. Stark stating, time sensitive, to the subject of I need a continuance. Dear Mr. Stark, thank you for appearing at your deposition today. At your deposition, you stated your computers were inoperable. My computers are down. But that you would provide me with all documents that you have in your possession in response to the subpoena that you believe prove your client has a valid claim as outlined in your lawsuit in this manner. You mentioned you had about 10 or so thumbnails. You said you would produce them as soon as possible, and following up here in hopes that your computer is back up. And then a copy of the email is attached as Exhibit 2. There was no response to that email. Accordingly, on January 28th, the undersigned sent an email to Mr. Stark stating, following up here, and see Exhibit 2, there was no response to the January 28th, 2025 email. On January 29, the court reporter, Connie Hunnings, sent an email to Mr. Stark attaching his deposition transcript in a errata sheet stating, Good morning, Mr. Stark. Attached, you will find your deposition transcript taken on January 27th, 2025. Please read and sign the transcript and make any corrections you may have on the errata sheet and sign and date it, blah, blah, blah. At 9:50 a.m. the same day, January 29th, Mr. Stark responded to the court reporter and others and was able to attach the email in the signed errata sheet stating, here is the signed sheet. You have it. I signed it. A few minutes later, the undersigned responded to Mr. Stark as follows. Mr. Stark, in this transcript, you agreed to provide documents, and the only reason why you didn't produce them at the time was because you said your computers were down. Sending this email with this attachment shows you now have computer access. Please explain and let us know exactly when we can expect receiving the documents you said existed at the time of your deposition. 3 minutes later, Mr. Stark responded, Our computer access is intermittent. We are sorry, but this is real life. It is ready to go. We need a new one, and my assistant and wife is shopping for one. You will get the documents realistically by Monday. By then, we will have a new one. The same day, this is so crazy. You can send an errata sheet, attach it to the judge's assistant, but you can't attach the thumbnail evidence to Randy. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. So they were, lying. This is lying.
Yes, it was for the purposes of delaying, and I don't know what they thought. I'm guessing now after this outcome, I figure they figured they could kick the can down the road far enough that this would be the outcome. Like they had to know the man was very ill, and unfortunately, though, again, if you look at him and all his activity, like you said at the beginning, he probably had a lot more life in him before Bruce recruited him.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, look, who knows how long he could have lived if he didn't have the stress that Bruce dragged into his life by getting him involved in this. Again, you know what else it reminds me of? Lips, to be honest. Volmit got her recruited into this. He may have told her she was going to get a bunch of views. That's what she said, right? She said they told her that she was going to get a bunch of views and her channel would grow. They knew, I know that Volmit knew that she has mental problems because he reported on it. He did a
we
report on
we
her.
saw that. Yes, we actually saw him report that in the past. But they thought that this would be the perfect person to point our way because of that, I think.
Yeah, he knew that she was mentally fragile, or that she reported that she was mentally fragile, and that she was.
I think he'd seen her behavior in the past. He knew exactly how she responded, with those folks in the bar. He knew. So he thought she would be the perfect person to point at other people and let go.
Right. And here's the thing. They knew that she was emotionally fragile or whatever, and yet they still signed her up for this. And then they want to blame us for, looking her up, looking into her background, and for her being upset. It's like, wait a minute, you knew that this person, I didn't know her, you did.
No, they want to bring in people, have them tear our lives apart, set our lives on fire. It's so insane. With there's you're supposed to just sit and take it. You're supposed to eat shit for it, and I'm like, no, that's not what I do. You know exactly who I am.
Yeah, it's not what I do either, and I'm not going to be badgered by these people, and I'm not going to kowtow to them just because somebody happens to have some situation. But they knew this.
They underestimate you. They very much underestimate you. They think, I can't believe they think you're a weak link, like you're the person to lean on. If anything, all they do is motivate you and really freaking steal your resolve.
Well, they just haven't paid attention. They haven't paid attention really if they think that, because the more they come at me, the worse it's going to get for them. It's not going to stop me. I have been described in the past as tenacious, like a dog, like an angry dog with a bone. And it's true. If you ever tried to take a bone away from a dog that doesn't want you to, you know what I mean. And that's how I get. That's how I get when I know I'm right. You're not going to touch this bone. Phrasing.
Phrasing.
All right. Mr. The same day. Okay. So Lindsay Polk, the assistant, writes to Stark, "Are you available to set this case for April 16th? Mr. Stark responded to Ms. Polk at 3:47. "Ms. Polk, my computer is not working correctly. That is the reason for the large type. There were 2 hearings for February back to back. The sanctions hearing, thumbnail case, and the other case, invasion case. The continuance should apply to both. There were 2 hearings." I forgot that he was the trespass case.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The trespass case. That's what we got to read that sucker.
I know. We may. Oh, I forgot.
We don't have to read that
the lawyer.
We will. That's why I was saying you should have read that one instead of the thumbnail. That's what I was telling you. You know
what? I like the thumbnail one because it's still got the sanctions thing pending, and I find that interesting.
There's also more talk about all the Bruce discovery and everything else. We found out about that because of the thumbnail case. The trespass case, it was one of those cases. Everybody was like, what's going on with this? Nobody had any idea, any inkling of what was going on there. When you would ask people that were involved. Like I said, I reached out to Travis one time because I was like, what's going on, dude? I have no idea. And his answer was, I have no clue. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, it says here, Stark is saying the sanctions hearing, thumbnail case, and the other case, invasion case. So the continuance should apply to both. Remember, they were set back to back. 7 minutes later, Ms. Polk replied, "Thank you for confirming." At 4:02 p.m., Mr. Stark's paralegal, Jeannie Stark, responded to Ms. Polk again, alleging some computer issue. "You are welcome. Have a great night. I'm so over this computer." On Monday, February 3rd at 3 p.m., the undersigned wrote to Mr. Stark as followed. "Mr. Stark, unless you tell me that your computers have been down since your deposition, please explain why you have not produced the documents that you said you would produce under oath as an officer of the court. If I don't hear from you by close of business tomorrow, we will seek urgent action before Judge Davis, including sanctions that are in addition to what's already accumulating. Please tell me this won't be necessary." I mean, this is important to go over so you guys remember the kind of haranguing that they had to go through with this person. It's insane. Mr. Stark's paralegal responded at 3:26 p.m. the same day as follows. "Her lawyer lied under oath during his deposition. Her lawyer lied under oath during his deposition. It's still Monday. Peace.
Yes, he sent, without explaining anything that was there, he sent a link to a video. This was a newer video, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, that was the video talking about everything that was going on here. So everything, he was supposed to send everything that the case was based on, but instead they sent a link to a brand new thing talking about what had been going on right here.
Oh, God, it's just crazy. As of today, February 5th, absolutely nothing has been received. All of the discovery rules are to be construed to secure the just, speedy, and inexpensive determination of every action. And this talks about how sanctions are allowed to be awarded against parties who raise claims and defenses not supported by material facts, etc. And full and fair discovery should be applied. Courts neither countenance nor tolerate actions. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This is just basically about we should get sanctions because of the delays. Defendants requested plaintiff's counsel to produce responsive documents during the safe harbor period, but plaintiff's counsel refused to do so. Wherefore, we want sanctions. So that's the proof that that exists, and they did that. And that's why the sanctions is still moving forward, because they didn't respond to that the way they should have. I mean, and it's good to refresh my memory on what happened in this, because it's like, yeah, Scott or his wife were complicit, at least for sure, in these lies.
I think because they were definitely, I mean, she was definitely knowledgeable about what was happening. She was their contact person and more. I mean, she's right in there with it. That's why, again, when something tragic happens, you got to understand still, Jeremy Hale's got a lot of money. Jeremy Hale has been put through a lot of bullshit because of these people. He's not the only one. I mean, they wanted to do damage. They thought they would enrich themselves. You saw the contract there. And again, the damage done to Jeremy Hale's, the psychological damage. I mean, you've seen him crack up a few times. He puts on a good face considering how much of this stuff is going on for how long. But you see it every now and then, and you think, I mean, a person like him to crack up like that tells you it's heavy. It's real damage, and they didn't give a shit. None of them have. They just sit there, thought they would laugh all the way to the bank. So. I get very.
It does feel that way. It does. It does feel that way. And I think that's why there has to be accountability for what happened here. There has to be. I mean, the trespass case was really stupid. I mean, it should have been
one of the worst violence I've ever read.
All it did was mention Jeremy Hale's, and Jeremy Hale's wasn't even a defendant in the case. I mean, it was just nuts. So, listen. I'm sorry for Stark's family that he has passed away, but what the shenanigans he was up to with his wife before all of that happened still needs to be answered for. Somebody needs to answer for this. Why did they do this?
Yeah.
What happened?
Ultimately, if they can't see, there isn't a villain in this. Now, they can try to double and triple down and say, oh man, somehow in some way that Hales is the villain. Hales, again, he didn't bring those cases. In fact, it amazes me in the retelling of this, and Bruce loved to do this, they somehow tried to reframe what was happening here with Scott Stark and with Preston holding the bag, that somehow that was Jeremy Hale's fault. He should have just ate shit, and then when they dropped that, he should have just been thankful. Well, why? I mean, why? He's supposed to be thankful for spending, however much money. I'm sure tens of thousands of dollars, in that alone. Again, we're talking about a man that's out almost $400,000. I mean, can you folks imagine that much money? And we're still rolling. We're still rolling on. They've done everything they can to delay. Every delay that Scott Stark caused, by the way, when he didn't show up, he was able to show up for deposition. He had shown up to other court cases. He had shown up to something like a few days before. He even mentioned that in that one. They talked about him in the scooter. Remember, we made a thumbnail of that, or you did? You know, with him riding around in his scooter. So he was able to go to other stuff, but he just couldn't go to this one. Why? Because of culpability. They thought they could kick it down the road, and they would have kept doing it. You know, if this wouldn't have happened, they would have never, ever said, you know, they were somehow liable. It would always be Jeremy Hale's fault. But again, it's just like us within our lawsuit. Other people came at us. They wanted to do damage to us. They defamed us. They said some crazy maligning bullshit, and they thought they would enrich themselves off of us. And no, that doesn't matter. And I don't give a shit what the excuse is at the end of the day. Pay up, you know. Somebody is going to. So anyway,
I agree.
I could rant all day about this
No,
stuff.
I agree. I agree. It's there has to be culpability. There has to be accountability, and this has to go forward. And if Jeremy does end up going after his estate, I think he's entitled to do that.
He should.
Period.
He should.
I think he's entitled to do it because this is it. You know, it's and if Jeannie Stark wants to go after Bruce because of that, she can do that. You know, and I think Jeremy made it pretty clear that if she wants to, he will help her. So, you know, maybe she should consider that. Maybe she should consider coming clean about whatever the hell all of this was about. Why all the lies? Why all the delaying? Why? What was the big secret? What was the big thing?
Well, you know why else he needs to come after them? Because ultimately, tonight or whenever the next live stream will be, you know, I saw the post already where the ecosystem is saying that Jeremy Hales is the cause of this. You know what? Jeremy Hales needs vindication. He does, because they have taken his name, they have vilified and slandered him, and now they're trying to blame him for this horrible outcome. They want to blame him for it. Again, he's not the one who brought this lawsuit. He didn't cause Scott Stark to get involved. He didn't promise him the fucking moon at the end of the day. That was Bruce. You can see it in the fucking contract. And if they're not going to turn around and serve a fucking Bruce on the plate, but you know what? Somebody has to pay. And if saying that their estate should pay, if that makes me a dick, well, so be it, you know. But at the end of the day, I mean, these two things aren't the same. The guy passes away, that's tragic. I hate it for his family and stuff. But again, they didn't care the damage that they did to other people. So when we're talking in the courtroom, they pay for it.
Exactly. I don't think there's anything wrong with what you're saying. I think you know, actions have consequences. Period. They just do.
I just want to rant a little.
Go for it.
I think we agree. You know, when we disagree, one of the things like myself and Megan disagree with is she has a little bit more spark or hope with humanity. You know, I sound very negative on my outlooks on humanity, but unfortunately, you know, it amazes me. I'm always amazed by the people who can maintain a positive outlook when so many times people prove you right with a negative outlook on humanity. You know, you don't see especially when we're dealing with the ecosystem, it's just it's a terrible, like a dark spot. It's like a black hole that sucks in everything that's good. You know, so that's where our disagreements come from, though. I mean, it's, you know, and
mostly that's true. That's true. Most of the things we disagree on really are about me going, well, maybe they're not that bad. And you're like, nah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, my God, Megan.
I do want to believe.
You do. I mean, that's you know, at the end of the day, that's one reason we're friends, you know, because you have a good outlook on people. You want to give them a chance, you know. Sometimes I have to think that, otherwise I you know, I don't want to give anyone a chance. So.
I'm black pilled on so many things, and like the older I get, the worse it gets.
Yes.
And there's only a few things that I still haven't swallowed the black pill on yet. And one of those is just people's basic humanity. Like I keep thinking, like, they won't possibly go that far. And that person can't possibly really be doing this. So I always am looking for another explanation. And maybe, just maybe there is one. and I'll just put this out there now. I understand Jeannie Stark is going through a lot right now, and I'm very sorry for that. I'm sorry for her for that. I hate to think that that happens to anybody. Losing their husband is a terrible thing. If at some point Jeannie wants to tell me or talk to me about what happened, I'm happy to talk to her. She doesn't have to do it publicly. If she wants to do it privately, that's up to her as well. But I'm certainly open to hearing what happened. And, you know, I don't know. The truth will set you free. That's all I can say. The truth will set you free. We're going to go. I'm going to. Oh, let me check the super chats. Hold on a second. I promised you guys a video, as I did make a new video. It's called Code on Grow. And yeah, we hit the imaginary goal in my head. So I will play it for you before we hit super chats and before Tug has to leave. This is the video that the song that I wrote that I was inspired to write because Felisa had a breakdown the other night, freaking out about how I was destroying my life. I was going to lose my house and lose everything. I was going to lose everything because I filed this lawsuit against Lips for coming after us maliciously. And yeah, so she says, you know, I'm basically going to be living in a cardboard box. And I got to thinking about it. I got to thinking about what would it be like to live in a cardboard box? What would I be like if I lost everything and I had to make a new life for myself in a cardboard box? What would Tug and I be doing? And this is what came out of those musings. Is everybody ready? Is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
And don't forget, Super Tips is still open. So are Super Chats. Send them in if you like the show. I appreciate it. And I've got 2 colleges to pay for now because Fairy is going to college for her homeschool. And I've got 2 colleges to pay for at this moment. So help. All right, here it comes.
Well, I woke up this morning, my house was gone. Oh my, them vexatious lawyers and their AI made me cry. With their fancy robot filings, they took my roof and walls. Now I'm living in a box down on Code on Grow, y'all. Oh, Code on Grow, where my cardboard castle shines. Please said I'd be homeless, but I'm doing just fine. Got a box with a view, and I'm laughing at the pain, making the best of it, dancing in the rain. Fleas out there hollering, told you you'd lose it all, but I got a cardboard penthouse standing 10 feet tall. Hung some tinsel on the flaps, got a tin can chandelier. Code on Grow's my kingdom, and I'm the king round here. Oh, Code on Grow, where the stars are my life. Flea thinks I'm down, but I'm partying all night. Got a tarp for a blanket and a smile ear to ear. This box life, so who pass me another beer? Them AI red lawyers thought they'd break my soul in 2, but I'm strumming my guitar with a Code on barbecue. Flea's jaws on the pavement, he can't believe my style. I'm living large in a box, rocking mile after mile. Got a mattress made of bubble wrap, pops when I lay down. Got a stray cat for a roommate, best pal in this town. I'm asserting my rights from this cardboard estate. Code on Grow's my new home, and I'm feeling great. Oh, Code on Grow, where my spirit's still free. Flea's talking trash, but he ain't got nothing on me. With my box and my pride, I'm as happy as can be. This cardboard life's a riot, come and party with me. took my house, but I'm living the dream. Kadunk Rose, my playground, I'm the king of this lot. In my cardboard mansion, I'm giving all I
In my cardboard box.
And there you have it. I think it's catchy. I love it. I know you hate country, but it's not really country.
Slim me down in that one too. I'm looking so good.
I did slim you down. It's indie folk, really. It's not technically country.
No, that's not country, really. You know.
Yeah, it's more like folk music. So
I know. Being you know, I don't like that country pop shit they do these days. You know, that really gets on my nerves. I mean, I grew up.
But you got it. You got to love some Johnny Cash.
Oh man, some Song of the South, Alabama. You know.
Yeah. You know, there's some good country rock, like seriously good country rock. But
well,
yeah,
I think everybody likes some Johnny Cash, man. You know,
everybody loves Johnny Cash. In fact, you guys, this was so funny. So last night I did a trucking stream with Flux and Connor, Vice Baby, and we were doing a challenge where the chat was sending super chats for us to write AI songs to play on our trucking stream, and my prompt was wood chipper and feet going first. And you know what? You've got to hear this, Tug. It is so funny. So I wrote a song about the Epstein list called Feet Going First. And this is so funny. I asked it to do it Johnny Cash style. That's what brings that up. And oh my God, did it do a good job. So the one I played last night for the chat, I thought was the one, but I forgot. I didn't listen to the second one that it did. Oh my God, the second one is so much better. It's so much better. It is insane how good this is. I'll play a little bit of this for you guys. It is so good. Let's see. How do I share this? I mean, it nailed it. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Add to stage. No, remove from stage. No, stop. That's the wrong one too. There we go. All right, here we go.
They're guarding that list, keeping it locked away, hiding the names, scared of the light of day. Epstein's secrets buried, but the truth's gonna rise. When the list breaks free, it's their final surprise. They're shaking in shadows, dreading the sound. The wood chipper's waiting when the truth is found. Feet going first when the list comes to light.
Wait, that's the first one. That's not the second one. Wait, how did I screw this up? No, is this it? No, this is the one. I played the wrong one. Didn't I? Hold on.
It's free.
Yeah, this one is different.
It's their final surprise.
This is the one that I liked really good because it gets angry.
They're shaking in shadows.
This is the one. The one I played yesterday was good too.
The wood chipper's waiting when the truth is found. Feet going first when the list comes to light. No more hiding, no more fight. Feet going first, the justice for the pain their secrets bring.
So this is a lot of fun. This is the one that's going to end up going to Flux for the next trucking stream. And it's really quite good. It gets even angrier as it goes on, and I love it. Both versions were good, but I like the second one better. All right, I'm going to hit super chats. Tug, do you need to skedaddle?
Yeah, I'll probably bounce. I'm gonna go situate the kiddos.
All right.
We
Well,
will pick up
thanks for being here.
tomorrow. I'm sure there's
I
always some
enjoyed-
craziness. Yeah, tonight was good. You know, it was.
I enjoyed your ranting.
Yeah, well, it was a crazy subject, and I'm sure, just to be honest, the way the ecosystem is, I'm sure tomorrow, by then, we will have quite the thing to talk about. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure some other craziness will happen.
Or with this, Lord, you know. But anyway, all right, I will see you. See you, folks. See you, chat.
Good night. All right, let's hit super chats. Let's see, where are we at here? We've got Joe watching. Thanks for the 99-cent super sticker. I appreciate you. Green Veggie Beast, thanks for the 5. Latest one thing. This is ridiculous. I know. I'm sorry. I was on the phone. I couldn't help it. Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Crazy day. My hard drive on computer went out. Oh, I hate that. And Max Lab, thanks for the 2. Jeremy verified it today on a short video. Teresa Finn Writer Chick, thanks for the 5. I'm so angry how Felisa blames Randy and JH for this, though it's normal for her. Deep breath. Emotionally, I might need to take a break from all this. Yeah, she, of course, tried to blame him for Stark's passing away, even though the man has been very, very ill for a very long time. And also, don't forget, though, that these are the same people who accused him of bullying Mary into a stroke, right? And that's another thing that I think was talked about in the lawsuit. These are defamatory statements they say about people. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I think it's fair game, though, if they're going to run around saying, oh, yes, it's Jeremy Hales who did all these things. I think we have more evidence that it was the pressure and the stress brought on by Bruce co-opting this guy into this than anything Jeremy Hales did. What did Jeremy Hales do to Scott Stark? Scott Stark chose to join this thing because Bruce brought him into it. It's crazy. Maybe not gifted 5 Megan Fox memberships. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Fox Den, all 5 of you. You're stuck now. Can't get out, even if you wanted to. And Andre, thanks for the Canadian 2. You should interview her, get her side of the story. Well, I would love to. And if she would like to talk to me, I'm happy to do it. But I do understand she's going through a lot right now. So, that's not something I'm going to be pushing. Cat Whisperer, member for 3 months. Happy birthday, Jack Miles. Well, happy birthday, Jack. And I think I have a happy birthday song for you here. Here it is.
Happy birthday from both of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Happy birthday.
Just the good ones, though. Not the nightmares.
We love to have you here.
We really do.
Here's to another year.
And Calvin Stover Jr. became a YouTube member. Welcome to the Fox Den, Calvin. Once you get in, you can't get out. And it's weird here, but you look weird. Look you've got a Muppet avatar already. You're going to fit in great. Janice Wingfield, thanks to the 10. Above all else, an attorney should know if a lawsuit is feasible to win or not. Yep. Why didn't he do his own research into the case? He has Pacer. He could look up the case in previous filings. I agree with this. And again, I'm open to hearing what the explanations are or were for not doing that. Was he too ill to do it? Did his wife do it? And she's not an attorney. And so maybe she made a mistake. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm willing to hear what it possibly could have been. Jacqueline Burns. Oh, we already read that one. Thank you very much for that. Jack's mom, thanks for the 5. Does the attorney-client privilege carry on after death? For example, if Jeannie wants to pass along information to Jeremy, can that be used in court? Well, actually, in this case, I believe the answer to that is she could pass it along because Scott was a witness in the sanctions hearing. That's why he was deposed. So there's some information that I think could be used. Not all of it, maybe, but maybe some. That's a question for Jeremy's attorney, and I'm sure he'll something will happen. Something is going to happen with this case. But it's a good question. It's one that I think the answer is certain information, not all of it. Rage, like the stuff that he asked for in the deposition, for sure could be turned over, for sure. Rage G, thanks for the 5. Did Anti-Hales hate Jeremy before Preston entered the scene? And this was an opportunity, or is it all just grift off it? Chicken or egg? I don't know the answer to this question. I don't know where it began. I don't know why Fleesa, despises him so much. I know she used to be a mod on his channel. I have seen these things happen where mods will turn on the channel that they're, I don't want to say working for. Mods do a lot of work, but they're not paid or anything. It's a volunteer sort of thing. And by the way, thank you to my mods. Thank you. I appreciate you. But I've seen it happen before where mods go rogue. And I think it's a combination of jealousy and wanting something that they're not getting from the creator. There could be a parasocial relationship there too, which is a difficulty, but that always is difficult. Wizzy Wheels, thanks for the 10. Scott Stark was brought in to be the fall guy, which I feel for him and his family, but I can't help wondering who is the next fall guy. Time to duck and cover people. Well, what about the bankruptcy lawyer? What about that guy that Bruce brought in? Is there some backroom deal there too that we don't know about? I mean, who knows? Who knows? Iowa Gal, thanks for being a member for 4 months. I appreciate you. And Suzanne 70 IB Cali, member for 8 months. Square bullet points. I don't approve. Me either. Maybe not. Thanks for the 5. My name is Megan. I approve and love Tug's thumbnails. I'm being forced to say that. Bonnie Heron, thanks for the 2. We love Tug's thumbnail pic of you. I hate it. Stacy R, member for 9 months. I don't know nothing. Teresa Finn, writer chick, thanks for the 2. My name is Megan, and I love Tug's thumbnails. You guys are really mean. SF member, but at least you paid me to say it. Member for 8 months. Check your super tips. I did. I believe I played yours already. David Meadows, member for 9 months. Just tell the truth. You love Tug's pics as much as you love square bullet points. We all know the truth. Teresa Finn, writer chick, thanks for the 2. I love you, Megan. I love you too, Teresa. Thank you. Valor View News, thanks for the 10. The Bigfoot yoga lessons you did that Grok created have you looking great. Becky Fiorek, member for 6 months. You do know that you're telling him where the goat is tied. Too funny. The goat? What goat? This goat? Sheila 1252, thanks for the 2. My name is Megan, and I love Tug's thumbnails. Make it stop. X name 530, thanks for the 10. My name is Megan Fox. I love Tug's thumbnail photo of me almost as much as I love square bullet points. Key, thanks for the 5. There's another one. My name is Megan. I approve of Tug's thumbnail of Megan Fox. Thumbnail of Megan Fox. Darn it. Foiled again. As Shine member for 3 months, I'll be upstate New York in October. I would gladly take some new photographs of you. I've got plenty that he could use. He just won't. Valor View News, thanks for the 2. Grok and ChatGPT can be frustrating. Oh, yeah, totally frustrating. So frustrating. MS Coast Life, thanks for the 2. Keep that mug away from my tidy whities far away. Valor View News, thanks for the 2. Tug cover cameras and AI will stop the prompt. What? Cover cameras? Wizzy Wheels, thanks for the 10. Thanks for the laughs tonight. It's been a tough day, as it would have been my mom's 72nd birthday and the first without her, as she passed the week before Christmas. I'm sorry, Wizzy. The Undertaker, thanks for the 2. Wait, Tug isn't black? Well, how do you know? He wears a mask all the time. Maybe he is. Wizzy Wheels, member for 13 months. Tug worked hard on that body. Yes, he worked very hard at the donut shop. Maybe not. Thanks for the 5. Does Hangry need candy money? Well, yes, but he can't have a lot of candy. Of course, he did just get his braces off today for about a year, and then they put him back on. But so he can have more candy now than he could before. Wizzy Wheels, thanks for the 10. Treat tokens for Hangry. Oh, he'll love that. Debbie Britt, thanks for the 5. Appreciate you. Jack's mom, member for 7 months. Doesn't that contract mean the sanctions that was going to Stark can go to BBB, his co-counsel? I don't know. That's a very good question. I'm sure all of these questions will be answered as we find out what Jeremy Hales decides to do in the coming days. And I think those questions will be answered. It all depends on what tactic they're going to go with. Lady Linda Early, thanks to the 10. My name is Lady Linda, and I hate Tug's thumbnails. Awesome, Lady Linda. You are now my favorite super chatter. MS Coast Life, thanks to the 2. She has a crush on your hair, or maybe just you. Okay, that's creepy. I don't want to think about that. Valor View News, thanks to the 2. Thank you. I really needed this laugh. And Dana Johnson, thanks for the $25. I appreciate you. And Janice Wingfield, thanks for the 10. The haters blaming Jeremy for Stark's death is just stupid. That's like the haters blaming Jeremy for Ozzy's death. Did they do that? So weird. They'll blame Jeremy for everything. You guys remember the song, Blame Jeremy? Maybe we'll play that on the outro. Oh, that's 6 minutes long, and I'm tired. Evita, thanks for the 5.
And Megan Fox on the chart under Fed 2. You forgot Helm, Stupid Dave, and Vomit.
Well, Vomit has not been sued, but I did forget Stupid Dave and Helm, so I added them in there. And I pinned on my short video, the TLDR that I did, I corrected it with a pinned comment to the top of the comments, so you can see that I corrected that. But Vomit has not been sued. Cynic in Chief, thanks for the 5.
Tug, if you use a newer photo of Megan, make sure you fatten it up with AI first.
I'll kill
Make
him.
it look like she also ate too many burritos.
No, I'll kill him. That is a you're gonna die now situation if he does that. I worked too hard to lose the 20 pounds. He better not do that. Rhea Norman, thanks for the 5.
Megan, why is your hair on fire?
You know me, Dad. My hair is always on fire. Linda Allen, thanks for the 5.
When that judge in Ohio hears all the hate that Fleesa spewed on my behalf, we are all doomed. Doomed, I tell you. God bless.
God bless. And Dan Davis, thanks for the 5.
That thumbnail of Tug should be called Larger Than Life Tug. That thumbnail of Tug should be called Larger Than Life Tug.
It was so good we had to hear it twice. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for tonight. And I'm going to head out of here, and we will find out what happens next tomorrow. We'll be back on Tug's channel tomorrow night at 8 p.m., so stay tuned for that. And I think because I like my new song so much, I'm going to leave you with that. So with that, good night, everybody, and we'll hear a reprise of Codunk Row.
Well, I woke up this morning, my house was gone. Oh my, them vexatious lawyers and their AI made me cry. With their fancy robot filings, they took my roof and walls. Now I'm living in a box down on Codunk Row, y'all. Oh, Codunk Row, where my cardboard castle shines. Fleece said I'd be homeless, but I'm doing just fine. Got a box with a view, and I'm laughing at the pain, making the best of it, dancing in the rain. Fleas out there hollering, told you you'd lose it all, but I got a cardboard penthouse standing 10 feet tall. Hung some tinsel on the flaps, got a tin can chandelier. Codunk grows my kingdom, and I'm the king round here. Oh, Codunk grow where the stars are my life. Flea thinks I'm down, but I'm partying all night. Got a tarp for a blanket and a smile ear to ear. This box life, so who pass me another beer? Them AI red lawyers thought they'd break my soul in two, but I'm strumming my guitar with a Codunk barbecue. Flea's jaws on the pavement, he can't believe my style. I'm living large in a box, rocking mile after mile. Got a mattress made of bubble wrap, pops when I lay down. Got a stray cat for a roommate, best pal in this town. I'm asserting my rights from this cardboard estate. Codunk grows my new home, and I'm feeling falling on me. With my box and my pride, I'm as happy as can be. This cardboard life's a riot, come and party with me. So here's to them lawyers and their AI machine. They took my house, but I'm living the dream. Kadunk Row's my playground, I'm the king of this lot. In my cardboard